Hey everybody, and welcome back to the HeelCast live once again. I am that guy, otherwise known as Impact Dude, and this week I have my best buddy back, my partner in crime, the one, the only Raven Effect. Raven, how you doing, bud?
I'm alright, man. It's Easter, April Fool's Day. My day got ruined, though. I'm not gonna lie. I can't say I'm surprised, motherfuckers, but my day got ruined. Tony Ferguson out next Saturday at UFC 223. Third time this fight has failed to happen, but they got Max Holloway stepping in to fight my man Khabib, so it's not totally ruined, but it's still disappointing.
That's funny, because didn't I see something earlier that said that it was Khabib out, but it was actually April Fool's prank?
It was, and then Dana White came on ESPN and literally said, unfortunately, this is not an April Fool's joke, but Tony Ferguson. So Chris Cyborg actually put the story out last night, and I sent it to my buddy Eric as a joke. And Eric texted me back, and he's like, "Oh, you had me going for a minute, motherfucker." And he texted me like, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you," 3 different times. He's like, "I hate Chris Cyborg," because she got me on that. And then literally, like, that shit broke, and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me."
That's a mess, because I actually saw your post on that where you were like, "Oh, you son of a bitch, you got me." And I was like, oh, damn. So when you're saying now that it was Ferguson's out, I'm like, are you sure it's not another prank? But apparently it's not.
If it's not, it's the greatest April Fool's joke of all time. Because for them to actually go on ESPN and have ESPN talking about it and Dana to come out and say, this is not an April Fool's joke, it's going to be pretty damn good job if they actually do come out tomorrow. I'm hoping tomorrow that they say it is, but...
That would be good. Yeah, there've been a lot of April Fool's pranks today. I played a couple over at Asylum, and I had a good one played on me. I literally had everybody that works for me one by one started calling out for tomorrow. And the first guy, he calls out and he's like, I'm driving up to New Jersey to go spend a day with some relatives. I'm like, the hell you are, dude. You don't just get to like take a day off. What am I supposed to tell a client, right? Get in a lot of trouble. Next thing I know, rock solid employee. I mean, rock solid. She's like, yeah, I got a stomach virus. I'm like, oh, man. You know, first time I'm at church, second time I'm at the in-laws for dinner. And I'm sitting on my couch, and next thing another guy calls me up, another rock solid guy. He's like, I'm just going to be sick tomorrow. I can't come in. I'll see you on Tuesday. I'm like, wait a minute. Whoa. The first one was like, I can't believe he said that, because, like, that's just, like, a dumb thing to say, particular to me. The second one's like, all right. She never calls out, but now I'm starting to notice a trend, right? So I'm like, don't worry, I think they're closing the building down because, you know, everybody's getting sick. And then after that, man, I swear to God, one by one, they've all been texting me and saying, you know, Impact Dude, I can't come in tomorrow. I can't come in tomorrow. And I'm like, that's what I hear. I've been hearing a lot of that. So they got me pretty good on that one, man. Got me pretty good. But other than that, man, how's life been treating you? Because you've been gone.
I have. I've been trying to get on. You motherfuckers always pick a different day that I can't get on there, and then you started going live. You went live without the RAV the first time. I mean, that was kind of crazy.
Well, you know what happened, right?
I didn't even know this shit was happening. I just looked down, and I'm in Denver. I'm at training, and then all of a sudden it's like, you get like a message like the HeelCast is live. I'm like, the fuck, really? It is?
So you know how that happened, right? You know how that happened, right? I was screwing around. My wife was in Spain on business, and I actually had nothing to do. And I'm screwing around and I'm going, well, we got a show in another hour or so. You know, we could probably do this thing live. And I literally sat down in front of OBS and I just started playing with it. I put a couple screen togethers and I messaged Robert and I go, hey, Robert, let's go live. Robert's like, that's great. I'm like, girls, we're going live. He's like, okay, cool. An hour before showtime, dude, nobody thought we were going live. Nobody. And it was like, what the hell? This is the HeelCast. This is how we roll. So
yeah, it is unpredictable with dick jokes, at least.
I mean, there will be plenty of dick jokes tonight, right?
I hope. I mean, it's April Fool's Day. I'll be made a fool if I can't make a bunch of dick jokes.
I feel like it's every day is a full day when you and I are doing a show together.
I feel like my entire life is one big dick joke.
Right or not?
And I guess the fact that I said big dick joke was a joke in itself, you know.
Hey, well,
who am I kidding, right?
That's right. Well, speaking of dicks, don't you have some plugs you want to give to our friends?
Can't believe we just called all of our friends dicks.
This is the HeelCast. This is what we do.
Transitioning to dicks, I guess the best place to go would be to chat with a bunch of dicks over at impactasylum.net. You'll see myself there every once in a great while, but the Impact dude's there, Old School Heel is there. FK9 pops in it from time to time still, I believe. My main man, the biggest dick of them all to count. That's my boy over there. But you hit up impactasylum.net. You can also catch the HeelCast there, of course. You can catch our boy FK9, Straight Shooting. FK9's back, I saw. That's fucking awesome. I saw FK did our show as well, so that's cool. FK9, what's up? And then, of course, we got our guys, Robert Does Wrestling. We got our boy, the second biggest pervert of them all, Larkin with the S&M podcast. Chef's ventured off doing it. Chef's now the biggest hater of Impact Wrestling in the world, but Chef's doing his own show with some, talking all sports, and Chef and myself are going to talk some MMA here pretty soon, hopefully this week.
And we can talk about Chef on the show because we know he's not going to listen because this is an Impact show.
It's true.
That's right. So
if we were talking shit about Impact, Chef would be here.
This is true.
Biggest fucking heel turn in the history of wrestling, too. At least in Impact Wrestling, with Chef turning heel on Impact. But yeah, I think it's called Heel Team 6 Sports or something like that. I'm not Chef. I know you're not listening and will never, but my bad if I got the name wrong.
Hey, if
it's either that or Deuce or something.
Dude, if I'm the man of 1,000 names, Chef is the man of 1,000 podcasts.
That's true. Chef's doing big things, man. He's doing his thing. He's chasing dreams out there. Of course, there's always Andre Corbeil, and then of course my main man BQ. What's up, BQ? Check out BQ at the Impact Lounge, and also the RAB is going to be on BQ's show here sometime soon. We actually tried to do it today. I was actually going to try and double podcast it up tonight and hit BQ's show and then come and do ours. But I will be collaborating with BQ on his show here sometime soon. So Impact Lounge, check out our man BQ if you haven't by now. But pretty sure most of you know exactly who he is.
And of course, you missed my main man Robert from Robert Does Wrestling, right? Robert's. You didn't mention it, Robert? I didn't catch it.
I mentioned Robert right before Larkin.
Well, damn it, we're gonna hit Robert again, damn it. And don't forget the Wrestling Perspective podcast. That's Petey Williams' show. That's another great one as well. And
Kyle's gonna drop some WCW podcasts too. So we got pretty much everyone that does this show is doing something different on the side.
Did Kyle's dropping WCW podcasts?
He is.
I'm gonna message that fucker. I want in on WCW podcasts.
And me and Robert were actually gonna try and set up the first nostalgia series show we were gonna do on TNA from 06 to 09. We're still at some point gonna do a WCW show, a nostalgia show. So we're trying to get that stuff on the horizon. But Kyle is gonna do a WCW podcast at some point here soon.
When Kyle's ready to get back, and for those of you that don't know, Kyle's been having some health issues, been kind of out of commission recently.
I didn't even fucking know that.
Yeah, but he's hoping to get back soon, right? When he does get back, he's doing a WCW show. I mean, I still swear up and down, that WCW is the #1 promotion in the world and is always going to be in these eyes, right? So there cannot be a WCW show without WCW, dude. Am I right or not?
That is true. The ECW man himself, though, here. EC fucking W, the #1 promotion in the world. We got that coming, but no, the WCW, dude, it's just another name for you to hold.
I mean, why not? I've got every other damn name.
Yep.
I've got, Raven Effect, I think about 399,000 names. That's a big number this week.
You need to come on this show. You do. You need to come on this show and pull the Jericho and have the long list or just be like armbar, cross armbar, double armbar. Just drop out all your names. There's still double A. There's that untrusty son of a bitch, Arn Anderson. That's right, Arn. I'm still calling you out. Tosh reboot started, motherfuckers. If you ain't watching the Tosh reboot, you're missing out.
Don't mess with my boy Arn Anderson. Do not mess with Arn Anderson. Arn is
a pesky old balding son of a bitch.
That's right. But you know what Arn has? Arn has a penis, damn it. Arn has a penis. And it wouldn't be the HeelCast if we didn't talk about Arn Anderson's penis.
You know what's worse than...
Never trust Arn Anderson's penis.
No, it'll get you pregnant. The man's still shooting off enforcer sperm. And I'll be honest, that you have to point out to me. You know, what happened since I last on the show is that the RAB is fucking balding. So I'm using some shampoo to try and keep my hair. The back of my head, I'm starting to look like LeBron James a little bit up top.
Now,
so I'm fighting it.
Do you have like one of those nice round heads?
No,
but your head kind of like mine. It's kind of like a bunch of divots in it, and looks sort of like a crater.
It doesn't look like a crater, but it's still a misshaped head, But luckily I look handsome as fuck bald when I shave my head down, because I shave my head down to like a one guard sometimes back in the days when I just didn't want to do shit. So I don't think I'll look terrible, but then again, I'm an ugly man, so there's that. But
I mean, chicks dig chrome domes. Chrome domes are in, man.
Apparently, they dig beards. That's just like, I was getting none. I started growing a beard, and then it just skyrocketed out of there.
I'm telling you, the chicks want us to shave. I think you should oblige.
They want us to shave somewhere else.
They want you to be hairless.
I do oblige for that.
I mean, you could be like the hairless man.
No, I'm like the hairiest motherfucker alive. I won't fuck with the chest or the arms, or not arms, with the chest. I don't fuck with the chest hair. I got some arm hair on the understart, but I do shave, the area. But
yeah, do you shave your balls, or just patching around everything?
I get as close to it as I can, but there's no way in hell I'm letting razor touch nutsack.
Yeah, no razor on the nutsack. Not even electric shaver. Not even electric.
Oh, I use the electric shaver. That's what I fuck with, but I'm still not letting it actually touch the balls.
It's just that's just out.
Yeah, I mean, these balls are smooth as eggs to start, so.
How about your asshole? Do you shave that?
No.
Because that would be hard to do by yourself.
Yeah, I don't even know if I say this story. But, okay.
I don't think there's any holding back with stories with you, Raven.
Yeah, I mean, I was fucking around and dating this chick for very briefly.
Very briefly, folks. Note that very briefly.
Yeah, like every girl since my ex-wife, it's been very briefly dated. But she shaved her asshole. And, when in Rome, you got to eat the booty. And it was pretty nice. So just figured, I have no idea why I just went with this story, but fuck it, we're live. It's live TV. Eat the booty, guys. Eat ass. It's 2018.
Oh, boy.
Maybe I'll send some pictures. Who knows? Not of me eating ass, but of her ass.
I mean, I think she would appreciate that.
Oh, she'd love it.
I mean,
she would love it.
Look this way. Later on, when you become president, there's really nothing for her to put out on you because you've taken care of it already.
I know. I already grabbed her by the pussy, so we're good.
You know what I'm saying? It's all out there. If she ever runs for president, well, sucks to be her. She shouldn't have fucked you if she wanted to be president.
She'd be president sucking dick.
That's right.
Terribly. She's bad blowjob. Never mind.
Oh my God.
Moving on.
Blowjob. Let's talk about those 399,000 names, otherwise known as Impact Dude. Ratings, folks. We got to talk about something other than dicks at some point in the show.
We were talking about buttholes, and I was about to talk about vaginas, but
you were talking about dicks and buttholes. To be fair, okay. That was where the story was going. You were talking about pictures and everything else, and now I think I've gone blind. Raven Effect. Ratings are going up, up, up. What's the story? Clue me in. Is this show that much better than it's been? What's happening around us?
For one, the greatest man that ever lived is there. Wow, I'm stupid. The greatest man that ever lived is there, for one. So that helps. Eli Drake. Okay, the fucking wrestling quality, the show quality, they've been clicking, man. They've been hitting it. They've hit their stride. They're doing so much better with everything. People aren't shitting on it as much. I mean, motherfuckers still gonna look for reason to shit on it. Like, what's been so bad about the show that you could shit on it? You could be like Chef and just fucking reach for anything to shit on it, but like, yeah, man, like, yeah, Chef, like all the stuff that he would be like, they're doing good, Joe. That's what I'm saying. Like now that's Bush League, that's minor league stuff, but tell me what's been bad about the show. Nothing really, to be honest. I mean, we've seen Braxton Sutter on TV. I guess that's but other than that, and Braxton hasn't been too bad. Braxton's banging Asian Rosemary.
So if I'm correct, I just want to make sure that we're hearing this now correctly. You are saying Braxton Sutter equals ratings.
Duh. When is he not? The bland bombshell.
And there we have it, folks. Raven Effect.
The bland bad boy.
The bland bad boy. I mean, let's face it. If we're gonna talk about him at all here, and I guess we'll get to him later. This has been his best work, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, like he talked and introduced Su Yung, and I'm not gonna lie, that was probably his best promo work since he's been in Impact. And it was like Su Yung, and then that was it. But it was still like, this is probably the best work this motherfucker's done.
I agree with that completely. I'm going to tell you, I think the biggest thing here that we've got going with ratings is we just got consistency, and they're putting on good matches. And what they're doing is they're actually stacking their shows up, and they've actually booked it properly, right? They're making matches count each and every week. We would go weeks before where we wouldn't have a main event that was like you cared about. We went through a period of time, folks, where it was just like, hey, I think these two guys can put on a good match to put them in the main event. It's like watching Ring of Honor, but it wasn't Ring of Honor. At least with Ring of Honor, that's the expectation. Now fans, they got something to expect, and they're following through with it. They're following through with it on Twitch. They're following through with it on Twitter. They're following through with it on social media. I mean, let's face it, Raven Effect, their social media numbers are through the freaking roof. Am I right or not?
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I'm not going to lie. I don't pay attention to that shit, to be honest. But yeah, through the roof. Sky high.
So
high you can kiss the sky.
But they're being consistent. Am I right or not? They've got their wrestlers out there. They're doing shows around the nation at this point, right? Just constantly these house shows. They don't have to run them to get their wrestlers out there to bring more fans in. So, you know, you go to Ohio and you see Eddie Edwards show up and you're like, oh man, this is going to be on Impact. Let me tune in. Let me tell my friends to tune in. I might be on Impact. Next thing you know, they're watching. You're like, man, this is a pretty good show. I mean, isn't this the kind of organic way that you build viewership?
Yeah, it's funny. You know, you start putting your name out there and you co-promoting with these little shows and getting headlines like someone attacked a wrestler and the Impact dude sneezes on live TV.
That's right, damn it.
I mean, it works. Surprise, surprise, Ditsy. You dumb bitch. Maybe Fat Gabira can clean those goddamn, I want to say silicone, but Crisco out of his fucking fat earlobes and realize what it takes. You lying trickster son of a bitch. That fat snake.
What?
That's right. Fuck you, Dixie.
But doesn't this just show, and we talked about on this show for years, you and I, Raven Effect. We've always said, if we took over Impact, the first thing we'd do is we'd hire a CEO and we'd hire a CFO. We'd have somebody watching numbers and we'd have somebody watching everything. Anthem comes in, what do? They bring in Ed Nordholm. Ed Nordholm don't know wrestling from Adam. He don't know what the fuck he's doing with wrestling. But what's he do? He brings in people around him that know what they're doing. He brings in Jeff Jarrett. And he devises a plan with Jeff. Now, did Jeff work out, Raven Effect?
Unfortunately not.
No. Jeff was a complete and utter disaster, right? But here's the thing, right? He didn't abort the plan when Jeff left, now did he? No. He kept with the plan. He kept building the partnerships. He kept building for the network. He kept building the Twitch and trying to bring people in. So now we got a consistent plan. The only difference is we got folks that are running the show that aren't, unfortunately, maybe in a bad spot in life, right? I don't want to beat on Jeff Jarrett right now. I don't think it's the right thing to do. But we have folks that are in a better place, right? Able to focus more on the product and on the show. And now we're seeing what's happening with it.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's just because this is a TNA show, an Impact show, and we just brought up both abortion and Jeff Jarrett. Stephanie McMahon
oh God.
And her husband and her father hint on the abortion. And Stephanie comment there. Double J going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Ain't he great? You know, congrats to that. You know, Double J, I think he deserved it. I was actually a big fan of Jeff Jarrett in the WWF back in the days. Ain't he great? Or ain't I great?
You know, I think that Jeff Jarrett completely deserves to be there. Completely deserves it. And I don't want to take anything away from the guy. His contribution to the business. It's going to be odd, him being on that show after, you know, him kind of getting fired on national TV.
And it was, I mean, shit. How many years is Impact been at? 16 years since he's been anywhere near WWE TV.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'm sure he's been on the network, but like directly working with the devil's butt stepchild.
So it just goes to show you, if Jeff Jarrett can come back, folks, Hulk Hogan will be back soon enough himself.
Right, brother. I'm actually rocking a Hulkamania t-shirt right now that I got at Pro Wrestling Tees on the Pro Wrestling Crate. I ain't gonna lie, there's some decent stuff. I got an autographed picture from Jake the Snake. It's legit. Got a Ricky Steamboat and a Hulk Hogan shirt. I'm not a big Ricky Steamboat guy, but I like the shirt. So there's that.
Now look, talking about people coming. It's reported again. This was originally reported a couple months ago that Impact is interested in Jeff Cobb. Raven Effect. I don't know much about Jeff Cobb. Tell me what you know about Jeff Cobb.
I've heard of Ty Cobb, and I know Corn on the Cob, and I know a couple dudes named Jeff, but I don't know who Jeff Cobb is. Apparently he's good, right? That's what I've heard.
People seem to like him in Lucha Underground. Yeah.
So, you know what? The more talent, the merrier, man. As long as they know what they're doing and use him. I mean, they haven't used Chandler Park too much since, but, because he was a big deal apparently, but, I'm all for Impact signing more talent, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've heard contradictory things on Chandler Park. One thing I've heard is that they're going to repackage him and bring him back. Basically this whole Park and Park thing didn't work out, and they want to bring Abyss back now. So if that's the case, we might see Chandler with a new gimmick, which wouldn't be the end of the world, because from what I understand, the guy's incredibly talented, and it was a waste for him to have that gimmick to begin with.
That was fucking quick if that's the case. Holy shit.
Yeah. Very quick. But you know what? I mean, fail fast, right?
Stupid.
Well, if you're going to fail quick, right? Don't put the guy out there for months and years on end. Have him fall into Braxton Sutterville, and the next thing you know, you can't get him over like his Robbie E. You know what I'm saying? Just go, you know what? This didn't work out. He actually did a great job in the role. It's just, maybe it wasn't a great role. So bring him back, repackage him, do whatever. Now, speaking of packages.
Speaking of Robbie E, for $40 you can listen to his podcast, which is apparently going to be Curl. If you ask Hurls, like POD and Creed are good music in Theory of a Dead Man, so I mean it's Hurls' judgment, ladies and gentlemen, but Hurls enjoys Robbie E's podcast.
I understand that Robbie E reached out to BQ and offered to pay him $40 to show up on the show.
BQ's got bigger and better options.
I'm just saying.
BQ had Eli Drake on his show, for fuck's sake. The fuck he's gonna do with on Robbie E for $40?
I'm just saying,
I heard Robbie E will do a lot for $40.
I actually heard he doesn't do all that much. I'm just saying, I heard he didn't do much at all for the $40.
Yeah, not really. That would be an orange. Whoa, it's a good thing I watched my mouth on live. So go ahead and proceed.
That's right. Now, shifting from Robbie E into things we don't have to worry about not being able to edit later. It's going to be a huge week of Wrestlecon events for Impact. It's going to start, I guess, on Thursday. And it's going to include everything up to, including the live broadcast of Impact versus Lucha Underground, which is going to air live on Twitch for free from 10 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Raven Effect. Are you looking forward to this weekend's Impact events?
Fuck yeah, motherfucker. It's Impact versus Lucha Underground. Like, how the fuck can you not be excited for that shit? Nobody's doing this. Like, ROH and New Japan have their dumb shit, but it's not like, you know what I mean? It's different, and it's all the time, and it's not like a one-time big deal thing. I wish it would be on more television, but they're obviously trying to build bigger live audiences to get promotion to both. This definitely helps Lucha Underground more than it helps Impact, in my opinion. Impact a much bigger program and promotion, but man, this is just super cool, and I'm absolutely excited to tune in. I don't get into the live shit too much anymore. God damn. But I will definitely be tuning in to watch this for sure. There's no way I'm not going to. Like, this weekend is fucking legit. Like, you got that Friday night. I got UFC 223 Saturday. You know what? I'm going to probably, and I don't like admitting it, but I'll probably... Well, I will for sure watch the WWE Hall of Fame, but I'll probably actually watch WrestleMania, especially if we're going to be doing this show. You know, I do want to see Bobby Roode face Randy Orton, and I do want to see AJ kind of main event from what I understand. But, you know, I'm watching for the TNA guys, and I do want to see John Cena against The Undertaker, and if John Cena loses that match, I'm going to be fucking furious. That's right, motherfuckers, I said it. If John Cena loses, I'm going to be pissed off. Fuck you, Cena haters. And you know what? And next weekend, I'm going to go watch Cockblocker starring John Cena, too, because it looks fucking funny.
You're kidding me, man. Why did you become a John Cena lover? Cena. You do or you don't?
What's that?
I do like John Cena. You do like him.
I do. I like John Cena. I think he takes so much unnecessary shit from just a bunch of fucking fat nerds that are just super pissed because their kids like the guy and because their girlfriends want to fuck him. That's the honest to God reason why people hate John Cena.
Have you ever seen his reality show?
No, God no. Why would I watch that shit?
Well, because I watched an episode, and he came off, dude, as the world's biggest prick. Do you realize that he's married to Nikki Bella, right? Not Brie?
I know he's married to one of them.
I think it's Nikki. He made her sign a contract just to be able to live in his house.
Fucking savage, dude.
Okay. Then when Daniel Bryan and Brie moved in, okay, he like literally sits them down and tells them the way that everything's gonna work in his house, and they're only there to help Nikki through her neck surgery. Okay, he tells them exactly how things have to be, including weekly formal dinners, because he likes formal dinners where their dog can go and not go and poop and not poop. I mean, like, dude, I know that shit's made up for television, but if you're supposed to be like the most popular babyface wrestler in the world, that is not a good way to have your character portrayed. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm sure dude's got so much money in the ego, he probably is crazy. Like, look how much of a shitbag Hulk Hogan turned out to be. And even R.I.P. because I love the dude, like, to death, man. Like, I love him so much more now, but Warrior was a fucking nut job. Savage was a nut job. Like, I'm sure Cena's got some crazy-ass ego shit, you know what I mean? But that motherfucker is the last star that company has been able to build. I don't think they're ever going to get another one. And if he loses to 53-year-old crusty-ass Undertaker who can barely walk, like, fuck all that noise. Like, that motherfucker deserves to go over the Undertaker, for real. He does. Like, that dude deserves so much shit. Do you know how bad it's killing him to not be able to fucking turn heel and just go to town on these fucking fat nerds that, like, just cry about WWE and Cena, but tune in every fucking goddamn event, which is like 17 a week, and scream and cry, and, like, their fucking 300-pound girlfriend's like, oh, John Cena. Like, oh, fuck that guy. The only girl that ever fucked me could have had to wipe her down ASAP is wants to screw this guy, so I hate him now, and fuck these kids because I'm too, lazy to produce one.
Okay, so you said...
wrestling fans, I love you guys.
So you said
you don't give us a bad name.
You mentioned the Undertaker had a crusty ass. Would you care to elaborate?
He's just a crusty old fuck, man. He's 53. Like, okay, that's not that old. Like, I mean, the Impact dude just turned 53. So
right. Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Anytime. But no, man, like, he's beat up. He's already lost twice at WrestleMania now. Like, the streak's a done deal. I mean, give it to the guy.
He lost twice?
He lost last year to Roman, that Roman Reigns guy.
Really?
It's the first match I've ever seen Roman Reigns in, and now it was just bad. It was just so fucking bad.
Yeah, I got nothing for you. Yeah.
Like, that WrestleMania I watched last year was just fucking terrible.
Why did you watch it?
I wanted to, you know what, we were doing this show as me, Hurls, and Chef, and I tuned in because I wanted to see what happened with Angle, and we just kind of, like, watched it to see what the big deal was, you know, with everybody just so into it, and it was just the dumbest fucking show I'd ever seen. It was, like, I've seen almost all of them now, except I think, like, I didn't see 32 or no, 31 or something. But 23 was literally the last one that was good or memorable. And then they just, or no, not even 23, 22. Like, they had a couple of good matches here and there on some of them, but they're just terrible now. And last year it was just fucking it was just bad. And it's like 7 hours of dumb shit. It's almost like listening to me talk.
Yeah, I heard it could go for 7 hours, but you know, honest to God, I don't actually give a shit.
I really don't either. I'm not guaranteeing I'm gonna watch it, but there's a possibility.
So rumor has it, or it's been announced that Shane Strickland, Defy World Champion, has challenged Austin Aries in a title versus title match. Raven, who do you have in that match?
Well, it's going to be awkward if the referee that fucked Booker T over in 2008 comes back as our world champ soon. And Alberto's going to have a real, just a whole different outlook for redemption. But, no, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't expect A-Double to lose. He is the greatest man that ever lived. To us, man, like, that's just as a fucking referee. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'll always remember Shane Strickland as. It's hard for me to even look at the dude as a wrestler. You know, like referee Danny Davis, referee Shane Strickland.
Hey man, don't mess with Danny Davis. He was awesome.
See, I knew that'd be a reference you'd get.
Yeah, he was like the original, like when I was a kid, he was the original bad guy ref. It's like you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that, and he got bought off. It was great. It was like the only time that the WWF did that. You know, during those Hogan golden years. It was phenomenal. I'm sure it'd been done before, and it's obviously been done since. But, yeah, that was a good thing. Yeah, A-Double's going over in this one. He just seems to collect titles. Seems to be what he's doing. Having a lot of fun doing it. I'm not convinced that he's the big draw, Raven, effect that you think he is the big draw of. And I would have... I'm one of the very few that would have no problem at all with Alberto getting the belt back in this one, and it's simply because he's committed the company for the long term, and so I don't think they can keep it on A-Double unless he signs anyway, and so I think also Alberto really never got much of a run with it, you know, kind of got cut short on him, so I think it's probably time to get back there. Now,
how did you hear about Alberto being at the WWE studios though? I don't know how long term he is.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that, right? Don't read too much into that because he was there and he was doing a documentary for Rey Mysterio that they're producing. And
yeah,
he happened.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I had no idea that was the actual thing, or heard any rumors, but I seriously thought I know they're doing a documentary for Ray.
No, that's why he was there. And then the rumor got out that he talked to Vince McMahon. Well, I'm sure if he's there and Vince is like, yeah, sure, come, let's Alberto, let's talk. You know, I mean. Shooting this shit. He's under contract. Vince can't talk to him. I'm sure they can do a wink, nod thing, but they could do that anytime. And I think that WWE is toxic for him, like it's toxic for Jeff Hardy. There are just certain people that I don't think are really meant or really should be, you know, on that kind of touring schedule, which is very difficult on you, not just physically but mentally too. And I just think that it's toxic, and that he's better off not there. Doesn't mean that he won't be there, right, or go back, but yeah, but that's all that was. I don't read anything into that. Now if it shows up if it turns up he's going back and there's, you know, he keeps doing things, then I'd probably raise a bigger eyebrow to it. But I'll tell you what does have me raising an eyebrow. Impact's working relationship with Rise Wrestling. Now you know that FK9 is fapping away to this one big time. FK9 is he's doing cartwheels, he's doing backflips with Impact working with Rise Wrestling, because Rise is going to basically be a partner to develop female talent for Impact, and they're going to produce content for the Global Wrestling Network. Waiting about that one.
That's legit. You know, Hurls and I talked this the last time I did the show actually, but I mean it's good. I don't know shit about Rise, to be honest. I mean, it gets more talent on the screen, you know, and helps develop them. That's all I really care about. That's all I got on it.
Yeah, I think
you can go for it.
I think this could be a great way for them to be able to enhance their talent of knockouts without having to have them all under Impact contract, right? they use Rise talent. They bring one in here, they bring one in there, maybe use a couple of different talents from Rise per set of tapings, and really be able to give some of these girls, you know, a look, but also fresh matchups. I don't think that they're going to be in a position anytime soon, Raven, and maybe ever again, to really have a very deep knockouts division, and this could be their way of adding that depth.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's got to be the way to add depth. It makes plenty of sense in a world like that. You know, it's going to keep some talent fresh too, which I like.
Yeah, I love that too. You know, they use Amber Nova a couple times this past set of tapings. You know, and she's not really built up to be that big, but she's somebody that they can bring in and, you know, get a little bit of use out of. You know, they brought Kiera Hogan in now, but they're going to need to bring in a lot of different talent and be able to cycle through them. And letting these women know that they can have a home in Rise and a home in Impact, right? And then be able to travel the country and do some of these other shows because they're affiliated with Impact and Rise should really help them to be able to have a deep division without having to pay for a deep division. So from my perspective, this is a very, very, very wise business move. And I would say for both organizations. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, it's obviously given a bigger rev to Rise. You know what I mean? Both the Rise and Lucha Underground are going to benefit off Impact, no matter how many fucking trolls on the internet try and say not. But
now, speaking of partnerships, and speaking of internet trolls, been some back and forth over the past really couple of weeks. But it's really feels like with Wrestlecon coming up, it's coming to more and more of a head where they're interviewing Joe Koff from Ring of Honor. They're interviewing Josh Matthews and others from Impact, and they're asking them, hey, look, Arn Anderson showed up on Ring of Honor television. What are the chances of a working relationship between the two organizations? Now, the official word coming out of both sides is very consistent, and it makes sense. It's got to work for both companies. And right now they say that, you know, Austin Aries, you got me saying Arn Anderson, man. I think Arn Anderson. They got Austin Aries coming over there, and it's more of a storyline type of deal. Austin Aries has never been their television champ, and he wants to collect that belt. He's on belt collecting mission. It made sense. Just like the Broken Hardys made sense to bring over there. And that, of course, you know, they were supposed to have the Bucks come back to Impact, but then, you know, Impact failed to retain the Hardys, and that kind of blew that out of the water. So if they do it like that, you know, and it's going to benefit both companies, it seems like both sides are saying, sure, they do it, but that they don't really feel like two companies are kind of in tune with what each other are doing right now to have a full-on relationship. Raven Effect, couple questions for you here, buddy. First of all, are you buying that story? Do you like that story? And what do you think moving forward? Where do you think it actually goes? Raven Effect.
My bad. Raven. We got that mute button.
You muted. No, I cannot hear you. Raven Effect. Okay. Try again, Raven Effect.
Mute button.
Hit the mute button again.
Look, obviously we're going to have Aries wrestle for the TV championship, you know, in ROH. Is it, what's his name? Is it?
Kenny King.
Yeah, Kenny King. So it is Kenny King. I mean, obviously that's going to go down. It's a real big lose-lose situation. Like, it's a lose situation for Impact if their world champion loses to ROH's TV champion. You know what I mean?
That would be bad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe by the time this match takes place, A-Double won't be working for Impact, maybe A-Double won't be our champion, because I'm about 100% positive Alberto's going over. But, you know, I don't know how much I buy this story. I mean, obviously, look, I know Joe Koff said it can't benefit one company more than the other. I think we'll probably see Impact kind of work in New Japan, but I'd love to see Impact and ROH get together. I don't fucking like ROH. I don't like their fans. I don't mind the talent there. But I don't like the fan base. I don't like the way that they do things. I think that they're like so dead sprung on becoming number two, but also yet so content in being WWE and New Japan bitch, which is what they fucking are. That you know, it's always going to be that way, you know, and Impact, they're just going to try and shaft Impact over because, like, they look at Impact as their competition and the other two is just something that's going to squash them forever. But, I'm trying to think of the other thing I tried to say, too. But, the part, he had said something about how he thinks that it's benefiting, you know, like ROH and New Japan, no company looks stronger than the other, which is bullshit. They definitely make their ROH guys just get, you know, embarrassed by the New Japan wrestling stars.
I mean, I think this is probably how this goes down, to be honest with you, man. I think it's most likely going to be, you know, on a case-by-case basis. I agree with you. I think that Alberto will go over Austin Aries at Redemption. I think this is probably the best way to go. I don't think that the two companies really have a whole lot in common other than the fact that they both like to claim to be number two, right? I just, they're a different style of product. They cater to different niche audiences. I feel like there's some crossover, and I think that we've proven that the way Austin Aries goes over when he walks in the Ring of Honor, or the Hardys go over, or or when AJ Styles went in. I think that you see them going over, and I think that the Ring of Honor stars would go over in an Impact arena as well. So I think there is some overlap, but I don't think that it's necessarily makes much sense. Very proud of Ring of Honor that they're going to sell out this venue. It's going to be like 5,000 people, Raven Effect, for the WrestleCon show.
I don't know much about it.
Yeah,
they're working in New Japan though, aren't they?
Oh, sure. I mean, they're always going to have New Japan stars on there, but it is a Ring of Honor show. But I mean, for them to put 5,000 folks and butts in seats like that, I mean, that's still awesome for them. You know, I mean, so hats off to them for having that kind of cult popularity. I do agree with you. I don't think that cult popularity has as much to do with their talent as it has to do with their partner's talent. But at the same point in time, I mean, look at what they've been able to do by, you know, like you say, being New Japan's bitch. That's not a bad. I mean, you know, if you're gonna let somebody stick their dick in your ass or even affect it, might as well be a big one.
Really, Japanese and big dick? That my bad.
All right, no. See, now you took me there. Okay,
like stereotype.
No, you're not. No. See, because we're gonna let Impact Dude. We're going to let Impact Dude share some science with you. Okay, now, it's funny that we say this because I just got a note saying that Larkin, the dick man himself, is listening to the show live on Twitch as we speak. And it'll be interesting to see if Larkin pops up in the chat to say, Impact Dude, I heard this or I haven't heard this, but this is a fact. Spike TV. Now, we all know I used to watch Spike TV because I'd watch Impact, right? Used to have a show called Manswers. Raven Effect, do you remember the show Manswers?
Unfortunately.
Okay, so this is a show where they would answer questions about dudes. They literally had the question posed. It says, who, and this is a true story, guys. It's just straight to the end. Who has the biggest penises in the world? Which nationality? And it turned out that American penises were, if I remember correctly, on average, like 3/4 of an inch or an inch longer than Indian penises. Okay? Now,
are we talking natives? Or
no,
like,
man, we're talking. We're talking. I'll be honest with you. I was thinking more like Exxon, but yes, that. Okay. Now,
feathers are dot.
Now, the neat thing about the Manswers show is that, first of all, there's actually somebody out there that gets a bunch of dudes to get boners and measure their penises. And for all I know, Larkin was part of this. Okay, but they also.
For days.
I think so. But here's the thing, right? They also, oh my God, Larkin is messaging me right now on Skype saying that he remembers this from Manswers. They give you logic behind this. And it's not just because we're Americans, haha. It's because we eat meat with tons of hormones in it. Those hormones are affecting our bodies. Okay? And that's why Americans are bigger and bigger. Now, here's a neat thing. The very, very next episode, because they were running them back to back, and, you know, it was late at night, and Impact Dude, I guess at the time I was probably TNA Dude, has nothing better to do with his life. I watched the next episode, and they say, well, what's the average cup size for women? And they said 15 years ago, so it's probably about 20 now, it was a B. But now it's a C. Why?
Woo! Yeah,
Same hormones. All right? Yes, that's right, Larkin. I am breaking down the science of dicks by impact, dude. The same hormones. So it's funny because my wife is pregnant with our second child at the time. For some reason was up late. She started staying up a little later with me. I walk in the other room and I tell her the story, and I shit you not, dude, we have bought organic everything since that day. My wife was like, I am not pumping this shit into my children. I'm not pumping this shit into me. And I kid you not, Impact Dude's probably lost an inch since the show aired, okay? Just because we're not allowed to have anything non-organic, and I mean preservatives, you name it. The woman's like a nut. And it's all because of, you got it, Manswers.
I will never, ever, ever eat anything organic again in my life.
You know what I'm saying? Get the hinge back, am I right or not?
Nor will any woman I ever date eat anything organic.
I'd be feeding their ass a steak, man. I'm talking about raw red steak.
Titty fucking for days. my big old non-organic D.
So I go to work, and being the guy that I am, I find a way to bring this up to this lady that used to work with me who was Chinese, and she was, you know, first generation, but her son was born over here, and she says, at the time my name was TNA Dude, but she says, TNA Dude, I swear to God, it's the truth. She says, when we come over, right, Chinese people, they come over short, but they sprout up. And they get tall, American tall in the first generation. She says it's all in the food. Anyway, so there is your dickucation for the week.
I'm gonna just throw this out here. Like we can mention all the hormones and shit all you want. I think there's a big factor in this called black dudes count as Americans too. So I think we're ruling out that factor, not giving it enough credit.
They actually addressed that one too, and they or maybe that was Mythbusters. I swear that one came out as a myth somewhere. I don't know. Maybe Larkin can opine on this one and fill me in on the rest of it.
Larkin's the expert on black dicks.
Larkin's response is Blackzilla, aka Shane Diesel. I'm just saying.
Everywhere you go on the internet, you just click away from big black cock.
You guys are just going to start talking. All I have to say is you can say what you will, but anybody that ever talked to Missy Hyatt knows that Virgil had the biggest cock in the room.
Doesn't Virgil like pull out the dick just all the time? Larkin, does Virgil pull out his dick? Why don't we just Larkin, get your fucking ass off the call right now? Why don't we just do this? Like, get Larkin on the fucking bench.
That's it.
We haven't even talked about the fucking show.
That's it. Larkin was supposed to be recording with Robert right now, but
I'm supposed to fuck with Larkin and Chef and do a old school '90s gangster rap fucking podcast with him too sometime. Part 2.
That's it. You know what? Wait a second, Larkin, you there?
I'm here. What's
all right? We got Larkin dialing into the show. Larkin, we're talking dicks. I don't know anybody more qualified to talk about dicks than you, except for Hurls, but that's really just his own.
Well, I was in the show with you guys on Twitch, and all of a sudden I heard Manswers and dicks, and I'm like, what are we talking about? But yeah, no, I remember the Manswers episode, so that's why I was commenting. Then I'm like, you're talking about like big dicks, and the first one everybody talks about is Blackzilla, that's BBC, and then everybody talks about Peter North because he's the dude known in the adult industry for having like the world's largest like cum shot, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Peter North is known for having the thing. He actually did a commercial. It's so funny. It's out there on YouTube. Peter North did a commercial where he took these supplements and it helps him get those longest cum shots on these chicks.
So if you Google Peter North and cum shot, you'll find a YouTube video.
That's one of them. Besides his career in the adult industry, you'll find him, promoting these supplements. Hi, I'm Peter North, known for longest cum shot and whatever. And then here's what I think. But how?
So I'm just gonna say, right, I'm watching the history of the Hardcore Championship Blu-ray right now, and it takes me to the scene right now where Mae Young gives birth to the hand.
Oh.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude, this is the most gangster shit I've ever seen. While she's in labor, Mae Young just starts smoking a fucking cigar. I never knew that the whole time. She just lights up a cigar midway.
That is how they rolled.
That is how the child became a hand. Don't smoke while pregnant, ladies. You sluts.
We all know Kyle has a thing for Mae Young. Our very own Kyle. He's got a big thing for Mae Young.
Well, she's a legend.
She is. She is. But I think that he wants to smoke the cigar, with Mae Young. I think he wants to go Bill Clinton on Mae Young is what I think he wants to do.
He wishes he was Mark Henry in that hotel room with Mae Young.
Why are we talking about Kyle getting a blowjob from a dead lady?
That's terrible.
Because that might be the only way Kyle gets a blowjob.
God damn, last time, dude, I remember the last time I had sex, I was like, dude, I need to pull out, but then I was like, no, never mind, the autopsy report's already done. I got your back, Kyle.
Oh, boy. Speaking of have your back, let's talk about Devin Danger. Did you hear about this one, Larkin?
Oh, the guy that, spit in the girl's face, yeah.
Yeah, and Dad came out and whooped his ass.
Dad's throwing hands like a motherfucker in there.
He was.
That dude.
I'll tell you, I'd have done the same thing, man.
I would have too.
I would have been like, you know what, honey, tough shit. You're a woman in this world. Get in your place. You know what, honey, go make Devin a sandwich. I'm just kidding. I'd have thrown hands, dude. No, I wouldn't. I'd have been like, fuck this motherfucker. And I'd be like, I want some money, and I'm going to sue. America.
So Larkin, my question for you, buddy, is what do you think Chef would have done?
Chef would have put a 187 in their ass.
Chef's like, I'd have knifed his ass.
Of course he would. We know Chef. Chef fucking right in the heart. But no, this Devin Danger guy, I know he came out on Twitter. He apologized for this whole thing. I mean, we've seen worse back in the day. Everybody remembers the original ECW Heatwave 99 talking about, we got a daughter in the front row, who taught our daughter how to suck dick. I mean, yeah.
One of the best fucking promos ever.
Absolutely. Bumper Dudley spitting on that old woman, yeah.
Yep. He's such a classy, nice fucking piece of shit, that Bully Ray.
Don't get me started.
Dude is, like I said, that's the greatest tag team of all time in my opinion, and I think he's the greatest he'll ever be. He can just literally choke on a fucking cock. Literally, he can die. He can choke on Velvet's fucking liposuction fat sucked out of her ass for all I care.
And yet people still believe it today when I said we were interviewing him later this week. They still bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Wow. Oh
because God. I wouldn't let Bully Ray choke on my cock. I hate him that much.
I wouldn't let any dude choke on my cock.
I would let him just choke on your cock.
I mean, no homo. No offense, homos, but
Yeah, in the business, everybody was known that Mark LaMonaco, Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray was the dick, and Devon was always the class act.
That's right. Could have been reverse racism. Could have been the truth. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
It's a white industry, the pro wrestling business.
Yes.
Yet somehow Bully wound up with Velvet.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Velvet Sky went from the Hurricane, Chris Sabin, and now Bully Ray.
Yeah.
She upgraded, then downgraded again. But still, he's still a step above. Oh my God, I can't imagine fucking being a woman that was attracted enough to Hurricane and the way that he talked like a fucking retard to be like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck him. And to look as good as she does. Yeah, I know we hate her on this show. She's fucking really attractive. Good God, I would destroy that ass. I would tongue punch Belle fart box for days right now on the spot in front of everyone. I don't care.
It's so funny because she actually came up in a conversation because not too long ago on my show I interviewed Trinity, Impact alumni Trinity, because it's so funny when she first came into the other company. There was actually an angle with her and Velvet Sky sitting in the crowd, and when the Heartthrobs were there, Romeo and Antonio, and they actually wrestled the Voodoo Kin Mafia as the Heartbreakers in TNA. That was actually the first time we saw her on television, was her and Trinity, being with the Heartthrobs.
That is ironic.
It's
a little too ironic, don't you think?
Yeah, God. You know what else is funny? That very same April Fool's joke I played today actually had Velvet Sky being interviewed by FK9. And people bought that.
They did.
It's like, folks, anybody that knows FK9 knows FK9 hates Velvet Sky. He's written articles upon articles about how much he hates Velvet Sky.
And it's so funny because the last time I actually saw her, as far as being in the podcast interview, since we're talking about it, I think Vince Russo interviewed her, and I know she went to college. I think she's actually looking to get her degree or whatever, which is good for her. But yeah, that's the last time I've heard that name was Vince Russo's podcast.
She has a degree in sucking dick.
Wow.
Apparently, it's not a good one because it's just look at the guys that she's dated. I mean, I know you said she upgraded to Saban, but it's not like Saban's all that much to look at. He might be better than Helms, and he might be better than Bully Ray. But I mean, he's no Jesse Goddard.
He is not. No, Jesse Goddard is
or Johnny Impact. Sorry, Raven Effect. We know how you feel about Johnny Impact.
Or Ethan.
I know you like Ethan.
Ethan's a handsome man. You can't. That's a good-looking man.
You think so?
The champ, or the former champ Eli. He's a handsome dude too.
Wow. So who's the best looking guy on the roster there, Raven Effect?
It's got to be Johnny.
It's Johnny. All right.
If he's not technically officially under Impact contract, then it's Eli. But
yeah, Johnny's under contract. He and Taya are under contract.
Yeah, he could do better than her.
He went from Melina to her.
Melina was never that hot. Like, she could do, like, with the splits and all, like, she'd be, like, I get it, but I'm sure it was good, but, like, he could do better. Like, he could have fucked, like, Trish, or, dude, he could pull, what's my girl's name? The ginger one there works for Impact. The one that's, like, the hottest thing in the world to me. The ginger, remember? Not Amber Nova, Ava Story.
Oh, Ava Story, she's mine, man.
He could do that.
That's an ass I'd rip apart.
He could get like Lacey Von Erich, and he should.
I'd rip that ass apart.
He should take Josh Matthews' woman from him, just to be a dick, because like Josh Matthews should never be fucking Madison.
As far as the Impact knockouts that we got, I mean, personally, I'm a sucker for two scoops herself, Casey Spinelli. I think Kiera Hogan is not bad looking. But there's a lot of good looking girls. Rosemary, I mean, I'm a big Rosemary fan. I mean, there's a lot of great women in the knockouts division.
Mackenzie Mitchell.
Mackenzie Mitchell, yes. Mackenzie Mitchell, oh my God. I think Chef said it best. She's like the girl that you want to take home, but she can party as well to mom. You know what I'm saying? I agree with him because Mackenzie Mitchell's fine as wine.
Dude, here's the thing, right? I get up to make it. You lay them all out naked. I jump on Mackenzie Mitchell. I blow my wad before I get in her. I reload. I blow my wad before I get in her again. By the fourth or fifth time,
naked, and then you jump on them, and then you end up with the police coming in and arresting you. Is what happens.
By the time I'm done with Mackenzie Mitchell, okay, the other ones they've just gotten up and left because they just realized it ain't happening. Okay, the only one that gets any loving with Mackenzie around would be Ava, but she's not on the roster, so it doesn't count. Brooke would get some loving. Brooke was fine.
Oh, Tessmacher and Rebel. For me.
Yeah, Rebel I could deal with that. Rebel didn't have the greatest face, I didn't think. Like Madison, I'm not all that attracted to her. She's got a rocking body. What
do you think about Sue Young now?
I think Asian Rosemary isn't as hot or cool as Rosemary.
Okay.
I feel like I'd like to do a shower scene with Sue Young just to find out what's underneath all that makeup.
Well,
and that sounds kind of hot.
She's alright.
She's alright. Yes, no, she's alright. There's nothing wrong with Sue Young. I could handle that. I'd like to tie her up, but I think that's kind of been overplayed already. So maybe we shouldn't do that.
You know what else? ShopTNA.com.
Oh God.
Slammiversary and Bound for Glory from last year, the last two of the GFW Amped Anthology Series too, the one night only shows. Since we're still talking Impact on this show at some point today.
Well, it's so funny, too, because GFW, I sent you guys that in the chat, friggin' 3 years ago. They almost had or they were going to air them, but they didn't air them. Boulder Creek TV, they had a UK deal for, like, a short period of time.
That's right. Those Brits will watch anything.
Speaking of watching things, did anybody actually watch the show?
I did, yes.
I did, too. It was good.
It was
Chef and Larkin like to hate on Impact, too, but...
No, it was good. I thought Brian Cage and Bobby Lashley knocked it out of the park this week.
And when I say Larkin hates on it, Larkin kind of just jokes around to fucking fuel the fire because to just get under Hurl's skin. Chef legitimately is a fucking hater, but.
That's terrible.
Oh man, I thought you and Hurls were gonna come to blows, and you guys like live in separate states and shit. Like I was like,
I cannot take this fucking chat anymore. Every day it's a goddamn 75,000 text message between Chef and Hurls fighting with Larkin chiming in from every once in a while.
It's so funny because Chef goes hard, Hurls goes hard, and it's just. Like I said, I got to mediate, and we got to get a debate either here or my show. We're definitely going to get a debate between Hurls and Chef.
Man, you and Hurls, the one day was a mess.
Here. See, I must have missed that one. I have to mute, like, I have the notifications on mute now, because, like, I have a brand new iPhone 10 that's still a pile of shit, but, like, you just can't fucking, it'll kill any phone, battery, like, the texts are so rampant on there. Like, I wonder how often, like, Chef and Hurls have to text their phone, because these two motherfuckers argue about everything.
Everything!
Yeah. Everything! It's like, literally, my God. Chef actually calls Hurls his wife the other day, I saw that.
Hurls called Chef? Chef called Hurls his wife.
That was like, it's cool to talk with you guys before my wife gets on here, you know what's going to happen next.
Oh my God! So, folks, all I have to say is that the HeelCast Facebook chat message window is a mess. If you like your lifetime on your battery life on anything, it used to destroy my watch. I couldn't get home from work without my watch just having no battery. Then then go ahead and put notifications on. Otherwise, just mute it and come in every now and again.
Griggs goes harder than anyone on there, but you know.
Griggs is all over it, right?
Griggs is coming with heat, just saying the most fucked up things you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, speaking of Griggs, he messaged me today and was talking about what a wonderful week it was going to be over at Impact Asylum because, of all the lies that I told. Then right after he writes it, he goes, "Oh shit, that's an April Fool's joke, isn't it?" It's like, yup. But
get on, Griggs. Happy Easter, Griggs.
That's right. Happy. He's dealing with a 6-month-old at home, man. His head's in a different spot. He's busy man. He's a very busy man. Speaking of busy men, we had Petey Williams defeating Rohit Raju, Suicide, and Taiji.
Ishimori.
Don't call him Taishi. Call him Taiji. Ishimori. And what I thought was a pretty darn good match. Larkin. What'd you think of this one? I thought it was a great way to open the show.
I thought it was too, man. I thought every guy worked hard. I'm a big Petey Williams fan. I've been a fan since the days of Team Canada. Suicide of his many incarnations. I thought Suicide was cool. I thought everyone in this matchup looked great. I'm a big Ishimori guy. I think he's great at what he does, and I think all men worked hard. The Canadian Destroyer is still and will always be one of my favorite wrestling maneuvers. So yeah, shout out to Petey. And then he gave that impassioned speech, and now we're going to see him and Matt Sydal at Redemption for the Exhibition Championship.
Yup. My man Petey getting the win. This was a match where the winner gets the, or actually no, he didn't. The winner wasn't getting an exhibition title shot, but it was basically two guys who were technically on the show a lot. One motherfucker we didn't know was still around, and a new dude that just came and debuted. And this Desi Hit Squad, I assume, will be debuting soon too. But I don't know. I wish they just stopped using Suicide, but it's good to see them putting Rohit Raju in there. And and to quote my man Hurls, good match. It was a good match. It was fucking. This whole fucking show was legit, man. Like Impact's been kicking some motherfucking ass, but this was legit. I love Petey. I'm excited for that shit at Redemption. Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards at Redemption. That shit is hot fire right now. But I gotta see Petey win that belt.
I feel like they're totally botching the whole Desi Hit Squad introduction thing. Shouldn't they have introduced them all together?
Didn't they sign them during the middle of the tapings or afterwards?
They signed them beforehand. They were all there they were all there for the tapings. But then they debuted them officially on the Twitch special, so we've seen them. But they got a manager. What's the guy's name, Larkin?
Gama Singh.
Yeah, Gama Singh. He wasn't at that Twitch show. So now they've debuted without him already. Raju's been used a couple times. And it just feels like they're botching this. Do you guys agree with that or not? Or do you think this is going to work out all right when they make him a tag team?
I think it'll work out all right when they make him a tag team.
Or a faction or whatever.
I just feel like they should have introduced them that way.
Maybe. I mean, they mentioned the fact that they'd be debuting at some point, but I don't know if it's necessarily a botch other than the fact that, like, poor timing. I'll say that. But I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. I'm not jumping at the bits for this shit, like, one way or another. But, if it's another tag team in Impact, I'm cool with it. I don't know if it was just a house show or not, but rumors will at least get Reno Scum back at some point. I know they wrestled LAX. But just more tag teams, man, so I'm cool with that. But, yeah, what happened next?
Well, I'll tell you what happened next. Your man, Raven Effect, Braxton Sutter.
Oh, that's right.
Braxton
Bland, baby.
Sutter. That's right. Bland balls. This is a man who has no hair except on his face. Anywhere. But he's got balls. Because he
big.
is a big ball. That's right. He's got big balls. Because he is now with the undead bride Su Yung, who basically squashed Amber Nova in 42 seconds. So Raven Effect, your man Braxton Sutter. First of all, I'm going to tell you, I think he's bland like you think he's bland, but this is his best work so far. Is there hope that they're going to be able to break him from being so bland?
I think there is. I think Braxton's going to come out and be all right as a heel. They need to do something with it. It should have happened a while ago, but they need to do something. I mean, he's on the roster. They're using him. I think there's a little bit more to Braxton than we've seen, but good God, man, just don't ever put that motherfucker back as a babyface. He's been bad. And now, he's moved on from Allie and LVN to Asian Rosemary.
He's just a knockout guy.
Mm-hmm. Found more knockouts than hurls his hand on a Thursday night.
Now, Larkin, what do you think? You've obviously, followed Su Yung through the indies. What do you think of Su Yung as a performer? We've seen a 42-second match and a run-in so far.
I think you're going to see a lot out of her. She's a tremendous competitor. I like the finisher. It's the airplane spin into that driver, which I think is cool. But, man, it's a sick finish. What is it? The Psycho Switch, I think it's called, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was. I thought it was what it was. It accentuated Su Yung. I'm kind of iffy about the Braxton Sutter heel turn, but I thought it was a good outing to accentuate and show Su Yung, and I look forward to seeing what entails for her in the future.
Now, you guys, obviously, she's drawing a lot of comparisons to Rosemary. Is that even fair? Because just because she's weird, does that mean that she's Rosemary 2.0, or are these two characters
weird,
just complement? What?
Said your sister isn't weird, you sick fuck.
This is
my ex-girlfriend.
Dude, my sister.
Ex-girlfriend who probably actually hates me now alone.
First of all, my sister is weird. She's my sister. Okay, let's get that straight. If you're my sister, you're already weird. All right. But really, you got to think to yourself: if Rosemary and Laurel Van Ness had a baby, I think it gets too young.
How did they create an agent?
They created an undead bride.
But it's Asian undead bride.
I mean, she could be anything underneath that face paint. That's why I want to get her in the shower so bad.
Granted, it's 2018. She can identify with other race, gender that she wants to be. Maybe undead is a gender.
Now look, Raven Effect. I know Larkin knows this. Larkin knows all the good stories. If Impact Dude is telling a story, Larkin already knows it. But you heard the couple in the UK, right? Black guy, black as night. White girl, redhead, right? Pale as the moonlight. Had twins. Twin girls. Right? I shit you not, Larkin. You know this one?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah. See, it's the whole... No, man. One black as night, the other a pale ass redhead. Twins. Like no
That's
shit.
How they came out?
That's how they came out. Anything can happen, dude.
That's all right. All right.
I will say they have a lot of fun introducing themselves as twins too. That was part of that article. It's actually pretty cool.
I bet.
But yeah, no, they did some sort of weird genetic thing that one went one way and one went the other way, and then there they are, twins.
That's pretty cool.
That would make for an awesome threesome. I mean, just think about it. You could nail a twin, it would be like totally different chick. Totally different chick. But it's still all in the family.
That's how we keep it here.
That's what I'm saying.
All the HeelCast family, just passing each other around.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mind seeing Su Yung actually hooking up with Rosemary at some point and actually doing some kind of a faction or something. I would have no problem with that one.
Girls wouldn't mind seeing Su Yung hooked up with Rosemary.
I don't think any of us would mind seeing two chicks hooked up, man.
That's your sister, you sicko.
I know. I didn't say I was hooking up with them. You know, because I was too busy between Mackenzie Mitchell and...
Mackenzie, is that like Mackenzie when she goes into Jumanji, or?
You know what? I'd take Mackenzie Mitchell into anything. As long as I'm in, I'm good. I mean, that is one seriously hot chick, dude.
Yeah, she's attractive.
Now we're on the topics of the knockouts, right? How about that sick ass attack from Rosemary on Taya? That was a show stealer without having a match.
It was Lucha Underground-ish. For sure.
See, I don't watch Lucha Underground.
Very well done. Larkin didn't talk shit about it.
No. Why would Larkin talk shit about it?
He's a hater.
He is a hater. He's a hater. Dude,
Larkin,
I thought it was great.
Larkin, be a hater.
Larkin's taking a potty break.
Oh,
he just out him. Yeah, we're live. He texted. He said he'd be right back.
That's right, motherfucker.
I have no idea what he's doing.
If Larkin were here right now, I'd punch him in his fucking face.
Punch him in his dick.
Yeah, Larkin, what's up, man? I miss you so much.
Sorry.
Raven Effect wants to punch in the dick because he says that you're going to hate on Rosemary's attack on Taya.
Oh, I did not hate on that attack. Actually, the only thing that I praise her now because that fat fuck Dick Justice got hit because I do not like Dick Justice.
What's wrong with Dick Justice? I like dicks. I like justice. This Dick Justice.
He's not my favorite. I don't wish ill will on the guy. It's just he's not my favorite.
Making America great again with dicks and justice.
I think, you know, a guy who's already named Dick Justice, right? And he kind of, if you just kind of look at the shape of him, he's kind of shaped like a penis. He's got enough issues without him to worry about getting punched in the face and beaten up by a girl.
What in tarnation? What? Get off of her tire.
What dick looks like that guy? Like, what penises are you seeing?
You guys know what happened, right? You know why he got beat up so bad. He didn't get a chance to warm up first. He didn't get a chance to warm up. Yes. Yeah, he's a standby wrestler. Or they get knocked out wrestler. Hey, look, guys, I thought this was a great segment. I thought it was great the way that, you know, she followed her and attacked her. I like the fact that they're doing backstage things. You know, and you know, Griggs put this out on our Twitter account, and it got a lot of likes and a lot of retweets. But he's right. This is how you do one of these feuds, right? You build the feud. Sometimes they're inside the ring. Sometimes they're outside the ring. Sometimes they're here. They're there. Sometimes they're in a hotel room. We're seeing some of that with Eddie Edwards right now. This is just good stuff. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was KM and Fallah Bahh.
Yeah, it was. It was okay. I saw KM get the win, and then he called Fallah Bahh fat ass.
Yeah.
He's fat. You and Scott Steiner.
I mean, would you call Fallah Bahh fat ass, Raven Effect? Would you do that?
Hell no. He'd whip my ass.
First of all, he'd whip your ass. He could sit on you, and that would be the end of it.
I was gonna say he would sit on you, and then that would just be the end of it. Yeah.
But am I right?
I feel like I'm so like white man slow that even his fat agile ass could catch me. Like I feel like he'd have more stamina than me and could catch me, and then whip my ass. But he'd probably tire out soon. So if he didn't get the chance to sit on me, because I'd be wiggling around like a motherfucker. Like I feel like I had a puncher's chance at some point.
Yeah, but what if he farted? What if he farted? So here's the thing. Am I right or not? Because I'm a Fallah Bahh guy, right? Obviously, we're picking on everybody tonight because that's kind of what we do here. But this guy's got some charisma, and I know that he is like, you know, hated big time in the IWC. But the guy's got everybody in the Impact Zone of all places going bah 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 when he gets in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. He's over with the crowd, and for his size, he can move.
They do need to start giving the guy some wins, to be honest.
He's definitely far more over than KM is right now.
Yeah, which I feel like KM's got a lot of potential. I'm glad to see KM get a win, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like both of these guys... No, man, I don't even like Follow Bot. Like, I'm not into the guy at all, but he's fucking over at the crowd. They at least got to give the guy some wins. But KM, like, I'm actually a fan of. But, yeah, I'm glad to see him win, but, I mean, the dude's just irrelevant. Follow Bot is way more relevant than him. You know, it's kind of surprising to see him get the win. But I saw some guy be like, oh, these two have no chemistry together. They have nothing going on. They shouldn't have even been wrestling each other. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up. You're what's wrong with wrestling. I'm so tired of these people that fucking cry about random matches. You're fighting to win a title. You fight someone to move closer to be number one, motherfuckers. Like, you're stupid. Quit being a goddamn nerd and watch some real sports.
I mean, wrestling fans are nerds, man. That's why we're here.
Not all of us. Like, I'm really cool, but, I mean, the rest of you guys.
Yeah, this is true. You are really cool.
Yeah, I'm so fucking cool. Like, everyone wants to hang out with me, so I have no friends.
Let's talk about a match which appears to be polarizing for some reason. Brian Cage and Bobby Lashley was apparently there were people out there that didn't think that this was just a great match.
Really? They must be douchebags. They must be haters.
They must Chef be WWE. I'm sure Chef hated it. Are you kidding me? Of course Chef hated it. Look, first of all, anybody that's watching, you know, we all know Lashley's gone. You got Bobby Lashley, who legitimately is one of the top talents in the world, if not the top talent in the world. I mean, I think the world of Bobby Lashley. He wrestles Brian Cage in a match which is designed to make Brian Cage look better than Bobby Lashley. And he goes tit for tat with him, but he makes sure that Brian Cage goes over and looks like a complete beast in the process. This wasn't him laying down like EC3 would lay down. This isn't him just giving somebody a win over him like LVN did. This was legitimately Bobby Lashley introducing Brian Cage as the next great thing and doing everything in his power and showcasing everything in his arsenal to make Brian Cage look great.
This was like the way that a passing of the torch should be done.
Damn right.
You know, I mean, little did we know, you know, when we heard about this happening, that this was, you know, Lashley really passing the torch. When you actually watch the match itself and then the Lashley left afterwards, it's clearly him passing the torch, and he did it in a perfect way. And this was awesome. This entire fucking show was awesome, and the ratings are moving up for reasons, and this is one of them.
I really thought they worked hard, man. I love that springboard DDT by Brian Cage. I like the power maneuvers, two athletic guys, and he won in the end with that discus lariat, man. I thought it was cool. I really thought that it was, like you mentioned, passing of the torch, and I thought they worked hard. I thought it was a really good match.
Yeah, it's hard for me to see why people would be down on that match. It really is. I thought it was athletic. I thought it told a story. I thought both guys showed their moxie. And I think that Lashley did it in a way that would make Brian Cage look better than Bobby Lashley. I mean, Bobby Lashley could have grounded Brian Cage. He could have done a litany of things, and Brian Cage would have just been, you know, he wouldn't be able to do anything about it. But Lashley, I mean, it was just amazing watching, you know, Lashley do that for Cage, and it shows a lot about what he thinks of Brian Cage. And let's face it, Brian Cage looked legitimate too. Brian Cage looked amazing in that match in his own right. Just knowing what Lashley was doing for him, that's just called being a big man right there. A whole lot different than what people did for that EC3 guy, and then EC3, you know, gets the whole night. You know, it's EC3's last night. It was just disgusting. So hopefully we'll get another match or two out of Lashley, but I hope Lashley gets the treatment on the way out. Way better than what EC3 did, because Lashley's got more world title runs, am I right or not? And he's also got more time spent as world champion. And so people need to remember that, you know, EC3 might have had that cult following and got that proclamation, but the whole time that EC3 was there, it was Lashley that came up and took it from him. But there's a new Mr. Impact in town, right? That's Eli Drake, and Eli might be. It might
This
be.
is supposed to be Mr. TNA.
It might be. Because Eli Drake doesn't like his tag title shot, and he's putting it on the line in a briefcase versus briefcase match with Moose next week. Now, guys, I don't know about what you all think, but I love the fact of putting Eli Drake and Moose together. It's a great way to build Moose up. It's a great way to keep Eli Drake in the thick of things. But I got two things coming out of this. First of all, briefcase versus briefcase matches are stupid. Okay? You got your briefcase, that's your briefcase. These are not assignable. You can't trade. This is what you got, right? EC3 can't get rid of the fired briefcase, right? I mean, I guess nobody would trade for that one, but you get my point. That's stupid. And anything that keeps, and I mean this, Moose away from Brian Cage, that collision of trains needs to occur sometime after Bound for Glory. They need to put Moose in the spotlight between now and Bound for Glory, get him the world title run that he's worked so hard to get, and then think about bringing Brian Cage in.
Agreed, man. I gotta say this. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Eli Drake and Moose next week. I think it's gonna be a good matchup, and I'm an Eli Drake fan. So, and I think Moose has, come a long way. I think he's, they're pushing him, and I look forward to seeing what goes between the two of them in the future.
You say bring Brian Cage in. I mean, I think most of us forget, Larkin probably doesn't, but apparently Eli Drake and Brian Cage have are they a tag team?
I believe so, yeah, on the Indies for a little bit.
I mean, how legit is... Granted, now Eli Drake's going to have the tag team partner that's going to be more awesome than Brian Cage in his own right coming up soon. Though you dummies better tune into that, yeah. But, man, anything with Eli Drake and Moose, I mean, I feel like that's probably going to be our Bound for Glory main event, maybe. I feel, you know what, man, and I say this before, too, you're seeing Alberto against Moose on a lot of these one-night-onlys or these house shows. I feel like Alberto's going to win the belt, and then Moose is going to beat Alberto for it, and I think what they're doing is they're putting them together to get chemistry so that they have this fucking great match when it's either Slammiversary or Bound for Glory when they pass the torch and Moose becomes our champ. I think Moose probably cashes in and gets that title shot at Slammiversary. And then we get Mr. TNA, and then hopefully it'll be Moose against either maybe Cage or Eli Drake at Bound for Glory, dummy. Yeah.
That would work for me. I wouldn't mind seeing your boy Johnny Impact get a title run at some point too. Johnny's put on great matches. I don't think he's over quite enough as a face yet, but I would like to see him get some props. I think he's earned the right to say that he was an Impact World Champion. And I don't see why they can't put the belt on him at some point, too. So I would have no problem with having Johnny take it off of Alberto, right? And then have Moose take it from Johnny either. Either one would work, but I do have to admit what you're saying, Raven Effect. That makes a lot of sense. And if this was not the current regime, I would say it makes too much sense. Now,
the other thing...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, the one thing I wanted to say... Johnny, I feel he's deserving of a title reign. I feel like a heel turn needs to happen for him, but dude is definitely deserving. And it feels like he's came so close. Eventually, they got to do it. But anyone else forget that Lashley's not a heel anymore until this, like, because it feels like Cage is the face, and then it's the crowd's behind Bobby Lashley, and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot Lashley turned face too. Mm-hmm. You guys forget that? Does Lashley just kind of have that permanent heel feel to him now?
I feel like he's a tweener.
He's more like a tweener, yeah.
I feel like he just does what he wants to do because he can't.
Yep.
There's never been like a tweener that's actually stuck to as a tweener in wrestling, which has bothered me though. But yeah,
I always thought that Austin was a bit of a tweener. I always envisioned him as a tweener. The crowd cheered him, but everything he did was a bad guy.
Yeah, Austin was a tweener, absolutely.
I mean, that's
was everyone he defended against was a heel. Come on. And then when he turned heel, everyone he defended against was a face. Except for like when he faced babyface Undertaker, but then the Undertaker ended up turning heel. He never fought. Angle was always a heel when he faced him. Rock was always a heel when he faced him, and so forth and so forth. Dude Love was the heel.
You were supposed to cheer him, but he was giving you the finger the whole time.
you know, the man who made Austin, of course, you know, he made the guy who was always a babyface for so many years have to turn somewhat heel. Now that was a fucking tweener.
This is true. I will say Shawn Michaels was quite the tweener.
You shut your fucking mouth.
Well, they just actually talked about that match not too long ago on the Edge and Christian pod. Austin and Bret Hart were talking about that match, which is one of the greatest matches.
Absolutely. And that's what made him brother _ you would shut your mouth, hippie.
Hippie. Oh, that's the first time I've ever been called a hippie before. I've been called a lot of things, but never hippie.
Hibbity dibbity.
You goddamn liberal.
Oh, I haven't been called one of those recently either. Oh, man.
What was I going to say, too? You know what else is it's underrated? Speaking of Bret Hart, I don't even know what I'm saying this because I just never hear people give it the fucking props it deserves. Was WrestleMania 8 with Bret Hart and Roddy Piper when Piper made Bret Hart. That match was fucking classic. It never gets talked about on that because of you know, being Hogan's last night, Warriors return, and of course Savage and Flair for the first time.
I always think of WrestleMania 9. Wasn't it WrestleMania 9 his epic match with Yokozuna?
Stop it.
Is that really that epic?
Stop what?
The worst sharpshooter put on ever, and then Hulk Hogan. Or Bret mocks Hulk when it happens too. Just go get him, Hulkster.
I mean, I'm just gonna say my favorite Bret Hart moment would be him standing on the sidelines of the Ravens game in a Steve Smith jersey because he recognized the true champs.
Fuck you, Bret.
I mean, that was several years later.
Anyways, we're gonna move on.
Let's move on. Let's talk about something which has been incredibly well built. Eddie Edwards gets the Ohio beatdown courtesy of OVE. Love the way this played out. Love the way the crowd went with OVE because they're in Ohio. Love the way they're handling this feud. Raven Effect. What do you think about the beatdown? That much?
Can you hear me?
No.
Well, see, my microphone keeps cutting out, and I can barely hear anything. Can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is hot. This feud is fire. This has turned out so well. Look, it was obviously a big mistake by Sami Callihan. You know, and he took a lot of heat, and a lot of fucking people that want to hate on Impact. You know, he talked so much shit about Impact for putting this on the air when literally any other promotion would have done it. They would have put it on the air as well, and nobody would have badmouthed it at all. They've taken this place. They've done the right thing with it. You know, Callahan going on Jericho's show. Bringing him into his own federation. I mean, the crowd was super behind OVE. The whole roster cleaning out and chatting everything. That was legit. I mean, this is hot, man. And this is kind of the talk of the wrestling world right now in a lot of ways too. And if Redemption, this is one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing the most. At least I assume this match has to go down at Redemption. Am I right?
Yes. Well, we also get Eddie Edwards and Jeremiah Crane at Impact versus Lucha Underground. I Quit. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of great stuff that's coming from this angle. It's one of the hottest things right now, like you mentioned, in pro wrestling. So yes, I look forward to seeing again what we get from it, which I'm gonna assume is a lot of great stuff. Then Sami Callihan cut the promo. You know, you didn't think we were gonna retaliate. Everything Ohio, everything is Ohio. So yeah, so that accentuated more to the rivalry.
There's just nothing bad to say here. You know, Sammy made a mistake, and they're making money off of it. That's professional wrestling, folks. We haven't seen this in years. We've lived in a society which has frowned on this type of thing, and now they're getting an opportunity to change it up a little bit. They're making money off of it. It's fantastic. I just hope Eddie gets to capitalize on as much as what Sammy does. But you know, good for both of them. So then we get to the main event. The title versus title match. And guys, I think I missed something somewhere along the line. At what point did Matt Sydal become the grand champion after giving it to Josh Matthews?
Yes, they didn't want Josh Matthews to wrestle, so hey, Matt Sydal, defend the title.
But I'm just saying.
I get you, man. I just think it's just because, you know, he's the spirit guy. I'm my own entity. I got my own chi and this and that, you know, very centered individual. He doesn't want to get involved in such heinous action, so he lets his prophet there, Matt Sydal, go at it. And Austin Aries and Matt Sydal have great matches ever since the early days of Ring of Honor, the independent scene, and now into the Impact Wrestling scene. And personally, I thought it was a great match from both of the gentlemen.
Well, it was great. It's not getting the love that it deserves because of Cage and Lashley happening. But this match was fucking fire, too. This was really legit, man. And I'm tired of that hippie. I'm glad he lost. But can you imagine, though, man, like how over and just... Okay, never mind. That crowd was so fucking dead. But I think they actually would have like made noise and moved around if they actually let Aries just go in there and stomp out Josh Matthews. I think, like, just put it in at the end. Like, have Josh say, no, that doesn't count because I'm the champ, and then just have Aries beat Josh just like he did Eli Drake or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And I'll tell you, this match went 20 minutes and 25 seconds, was almost twice as long as the Lashley and Cage match. They gave it the time. So they knew what these guys were going to be able to do. And these guys delivered in this match. I mean, this was good, solid stuff. I mean, from end to end. It was interesting watching Impact have the two big guys in the company, Cage and Lashley, deliver the match that they did, and then saying, you know what, let's take these two little guys, let's put them out there, let them main event and see what happens. And they gave them twice the time, and they made it work. I mean, I thought this was a fantastic match. And I'm a Matt Sydal guy. I think he puts on great matches week in and week out. I think Austin Aries puts in great matches, week in and week out as well. But Austin Aries, Raven Effect, I'm sure that gave you a boner, right? And he's now the world champ and the grand champ.
Well, it was hard before I started watching the match.
You were hard when you started watching the match. You were hard when you saw Eli Drake show up.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Callihan kept your boner going.
He yelled and it scared my dick, so I kind of went down a little bit.
Well, next week, guys, we got Austin Aries and Alberto Patron on that teleconference during WrestleCon weekend.
That should be pretty fun. Should be a pretty hot episode there, or not episode, but a conference call. What day of the week is that?
That's next Friday live on Twitch at 5:30 p.m.
Damn, Friday night Twitch is gonna be hot. Monday Night Raw, we got Friday Night Twitch, baby.
Friday Night Twitch, yeah. They said it was, well, yeah, because they're doing the Josh and Sanjay are doing their Talking Impact podcast, I believe, live from WrestleCon.
Yeah, I mean, ours is going to be better. Especially 2 hours of us motherfuckers rambling around this week. God knows what.
Are we going head-to-head with Impact on Twitch this weekend?
Are we?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
We'll go head-to-head with WrestleMania and we'll shatter those ratings.
Oh, who the hell would want to watch WrestleMania if we were live?
I know. Douchebags. Yo, Cena. That didn't even get a laugh.
I feel like if Impact is going to be on Twitch, maybe we should call up the execs at Pop and say, hey, look, we're doing a special. Since Impact won't put their specials on Pop, we'll do a special HeelCast on Pop.
Yeah, but that's never worked. I mean, look how much we asked our fan base to just say, hey, you should say, fuck the law, hire the HeelCast. And, like, 3 of them did it, which thank you 3.
That's right.
I don't even think we did it. Like, our fan base hates us that much, and rightfully so. Like, we're all a bunch of douchebags.
I mean, I don't think they hate us. I just think if they look at us and they go, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't want to associate with these guys. I think it's like they're rooting for us, but we got to do it ourselves. We got to reach out to Josh Matthews and be like, hey, Josh, look, we want in on this shit.
We're blocked. I'm blocked by him. The HeelCast is blocked from him. I think Madison Rain blocked him. I don't know, like, a lot.
Madison Rain blocked Josh?
It's a joke, motherfucker.
Oh, okay. Well, I can see Josh blocking Madison. He blocks every damn body, man.
He blocks my cock, too.
I mean, I block your cock as well, man. Everybody blocks your cock.
Josh Matthews cock blocked me against Madison instead of the police and the restraining order she put on me. So there's that. But, a couple more pickup lines and I'd have had it.
Larkin, are you blocked by Josh?
No, Josh does not block me. I am not on his block list.
Yeah, I don't think I am either. I could be and not be aware of it, but I highly doubt it. Last time I did a Twitter exchange with him, it was very friendly. People were accusing him of doing something with a Twitter account, and I actually asked him if he did it, and he was like, no, and thank you for actually asking. So I think I'm on his good list for that. But then again, if he listens to the things I've said about him on the show from time to time, maybe not so much.
I feel like the fact that he's a Duck fan, like, I kind of not want to hate him because of that.
I just feel for the job that he has, and the fact that he does have to be in tune with the product 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and so
he's bad at his job.
Well, but I think he gives it 100%, and I do appreciate the fact that the guy gives it 100%. It is very hard to come in week and week out working for Dixie Carter, not knowing who you're going to work for tomorrow, right? Do I work for Dixie Carter? Am I going to work for Anthem? Am I going to work for Aeroluz? Is it going to be Billy Corgan? And still find a way to give it 100%. So I actually have a lot of respect for the guy in that regard. I just think that he might be not the right guy to handle the Twitter account. But it looks like they got our boy Garrett Kidney doing that now.
Maybe.
And he's nailing it. I mean, their Twitter account's off the ballpark. So, Josh just, he got new and more exciting things to do. And we got Garrett. So that's I think that's winning for everybody.
Yeah, that's cool. Impact Asylum alumni.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's a show for this week. What do we got signing off? Larkin, what do you got, man? What you got going on over at the S&M podcast?
Well, guys, if you guys want to check out some cool stuff, we talked about Chef early, and Raven Effect, you're going to be on with us for our second one of this. We did a 90s hip-hop show on my pop culture show, and Raven Effect will be joining us for part 2 of that show very, very soon.
Yay.
I just interviewed Trinity, former TNA original, Impact original, Trinity, very sweet woman. We talked Impact, we talked WWE, we talked her stunt work, her acting career. I mean, the woman is a jack of all trades. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be more to come. Last night, I actually interviewed Dean Visk, who was a developmental talent in OVW and a bodybuilder himself. He talked about, now he was in the core group class in OVW when you had guys like CM Punk, Brett Albright, Crime Time, a lot of these guys back in 05 and 06, pretty much learning from Jim Cornette, learning from Les Thatcher and HWA. So it was a very interesting conversation. I have more to come, so stay tuned.
That's phenomenal. I swear, every time I turn around, like every day, you're popping a new interview on your Facebook feed, man.
It's so funny too because Casey Spinelli, like I mentioned, is coming on in the future, so I look forward to speaking with Casey. And she apologized to me. It was so funny. I had this interaction with her. She apologized. I'm like, Casey, I understand. I know you're busy. You're doing a lot of indie work, and pretty much the response I got back was that she loves me and that we're doing this interview, Mister. So I'm like, okay, sounds good to me.
That's awesome. Well,
who doesn't love Larkin?
Everybody loves Larkin. So my question for you, Larkin, is when are we doing that porn star interview? Because I don't do. If you guys probably should put me on one of those 90s pop culture things, because even though I was around in the 90s, I was still living in the 80s. I would probably be a blast to have on that show, because I would be like a guy that was there that like totally missed everything. But what I really want in on is the porn star interview.
Sure. Whenever I have another one on, you're the first one I'll call.
I'm thinking that we ought to hit what's the name of that chick that was just on 2020? Why don't we do her?
Stormy Daniels?
Yeah. Look at her.
Motherfuckers would have to pay her so much money for that shit now.
Yes.
No, she's not in it for the money. I watched the interview. She swears she's not in it for the money.
She's not in it for the money at all.
No, not in the way.
Her pussy is printing money now. Just printing money with that pussy. Pop that pussy money.
I'm telling you, man, I have to figure out a way to print money with my penis.
I'm pretty sure you could just ask her. Like, it might be alright.
Dude, every time I use my penis, it costs me money. You ever notice that?
Yeah, it always costs me money to get bailed out of jail.
I'm telling you. It costs you money to get bailed out of jail. I'm married, trust me. It's still expensive. It's more expensive when you get married. Everything costs you money when you're not, getting it. So, at any rate.
Right.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
All I was saying was I get more ass as a single man now than I did when I was married. So I'm not saying a lot, but it's still better than that. They just don't want to be around me for more than like 3 weeks. But you
But,
know.
but dude, you hated your wife.
Huh?
You hated your wife.
I did. I hate her so much more to this day that I hope she chokes on shit and dies. But yeah, I said that on the air, live air. Fuck my ex-wife. She's a fucking cunt.
If your ex-wife chokes on shit and dies, they're coming for you, man. They're coming for you.
It's not gonna be my shit. She stole my dog, man. Like, how can you do that shit?
You should seriously post the naked pictures of her.
I don't have any. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see that baboon bush anyway.
And there we go. All right, Raven. In fact, do you have anything constructive to add before we sign off here?
No. Constructive, no.
Anything that you would like to add that is not constructive?
You forget who you're fucking talking to.
No, I did not. No, nothing at all. All right. Well, folks, then we will put you all out of your misery for this week. On behalf of the entire HeelCast, especially my good boys Larkin and my main man, the guy who finally made his return, Raven Effect, are you coming back anytime soon?
I've been trying to do this show like every week, and I'm hoping to do it next week. Me and Robert are hoping to do that TNA Nostalgia show and bring at least another one of these motherfuckers on with us. So hopefully we're gonna have a 3-live crew.
Awesome. Well, we typically do the recordings on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, and we seem to either be out or working.
Yeah, is that meant work. We get 3 holidays off at my job, and Easter's one of them for some fucking reason. So
there you go. Ruined your day by showing up on HeelCast.
Yeah, it ended up being an April Fool's joke, and it turns out I'm fired for not showing up. But
And on that note, folks, that's the show for this week. Have a great week, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out, everybody.
Happy